This is way more opinionated than anything else.
What's
All
up,
right.
human?
That was a disappointment. Good video. Disappointing. Let's watch this one instead. Oh. Can I not watch this one? This one get fucked up? What happened?
Middle Ground is a social experiment that brings humans with
Oh,
opposing...
so is this one? Is this one the spicy one? Okay. Okay, the other one was just a warm-up. Oh, this one's looking spicy. Okay. The disclaimer, it better not say any slurs. All right, don't get me caught up from Twitch. All right. This one might be spicy. Let's listen to this. Can sex and love be Okay, this is more of an opinionated shit. Like I can never be polyamory, whatever you say that word. I can only be monogamy. Like I can't see my girl being with like anybody else but me. Like that shit would. I'm a selfish person when it comes to that. But I'm okay if other people want that, you know? It's like they're not hurting anybody else. So if that works for them, that works for them.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. I can separate love and sex.
For me, I think that I
all of
can
them.
separate it, but oftentimes it doesn't turn out that way. This is kind of the cliche, but I do think that sex for me is better when I'm in love and when I have respect and communication with the person. I also think it depends on how we define love.
Don't get slapped by Big Will, man. Oh, I already talked about that, man. You're a little late on that, but yeah, I'm trying not to get slapped by that. That man slapped the shit out of him, boy.
Because I could maybe, love that person as a human, but maybe not in a romantic sense. So I think there's a lot of nuance around it. I'm not really someone who's gonna say like one or the other.
I also agree with that as well. When you have those intense feelings for a person, the sex definitely hits different. Knowing that you feel safe enough with this person to be emotionally vulnerable as well as physically vulnerable with them, it's a very special bond that you share.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I really resonate with that because I'm actually a survivor of sexual assault and I'm also disabled, so I think that trust plays a really huge role, and that perhaps could even, be more important than the love factor.
I think for me, I can make the clear distinction.
Hold up, that old guy, this guy, I've seen him before. Has he been in other middle ground shit? I think he has. I know I've seen him before.
Sex in my lifetime to make me feel good, to occupy the sense of loneliness, and then...
Thank you, fam. I very, very much appreciate it. Fast as Monkey, thank you for the follow. Have fun with your wife, man. Have fun with your wife. What movie are you gonna watch? And hopefully you have fun watching it. I very, very much appreciate it.
I've loved someone, but the sex part just hasn't worked out. But the love is there. And sadly, relationships like that didn't work out for me. And I do agree with what you guys said. When I'm in love and I can trust someone, it's better, especially as a trans individual. There's a lot of people out there.
He's trans? Damn, see this why I don't understand motherfuckers about how they're so against trans people. It's called Dog, Channing Tatum taking a service dog. Oh, I seen that one. I hope you guys like it. It's not for me, dog. It's not for me, dog. It looks super corny, but I hope you guys love it. And I think that movie is perfect for couples like you and your wife. But it's not for me. I'll probably never watch it. It does look a little corny, a lot of corny, but I hope you enjoy it. I really do.
Especially as a trans individual.
Again, I don't understand people hating on trans people and being like, oh, this guy is... You can never tell if this guy was a trans person. I would never ever tell. Yeah, I feel that. Watching stuff for your girl. Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, have fun, man. Have fun.
There's a lot of people out there trying to fetishize that don't understand your body or respect you. So having the love part makes it a lot better.
I love deeply. The people that are around me feel that. Love and sex to me are completely different things. They absolutely can exist separately. I hate the fact that even the polyamory community is fetishized as well, and it's completely sexualized. It's only about the sex. Similarly to you, I have a sexual trauma. I have things in my life that affected me deeply that I'm still dealing with till this day. And the fact that it's automatically just clumped in is just something that I have to kind of oppose.
While I don't believe this is true for everyone, obviously there's plenty of people out there that can separate sex and love, but for me, when I have sex with someone, I fall in love with them. And while I do have friends with benefits, these people are chosen very specifically because I know that I will have to go through heartbreak on my own when I have sex with them.
I've been with the same person. My husband and I were high school sweethearts. He's the only person I've ever been with. And so it would be hard for me to separate sex and love simply because I've never had to.
I think it's also important to note that some people are maybe asexual. And so if I have an asexual partner, which I have not had before, I would have that discussion.
Or the other.
And it wouldn't have to be integral to be
My current relationship meets my needs.
My name is Jessica.
Patriarchy is the root of monogamy. Oh, this one's where it gets spicy. The second one is still just like an opinion shit. You can't really argue against the other people about that. Ooh, but this one, I think that's when it gets spicy. Okay. It's unrealistic to commit to being with someone for so long. I think that's what it means. The whole environment I grew up is appropriate for raising. Oh, the last one might be spicy too.
Really has to do with
I can't wait.
Restructuring our ideas of hierarchical relationships in that romantic and sexual relationships.
You guys gonna get a live Hassan reaction of my chair real quick? I just gotta run to the bathroom and blow my nose. I'll be right back.
I think it's actually a lot healthier to have a community with our friends, our family, romantic partners, etc.
My current relationship status meets my needs.
You know, one way I know I'm in the right relationship with my wife, we still enjoy texting each other, I love you. You know, you always start out in a relationship, oh, I love you, I love you. And then, you know, are you still doing that 10 years later?
We've had, both my fiance and I, our fair share of struggles with mental health in very different ways, but that understanding and that support, even if I do say something really fucked up, even if I do react maybe erratically or violently during a panic attack, he keeps
live Hassan reaction is over.
Our love is
let's
stronger
continue.
after every single disagreement and every single hurdle.
So for myself, I practice the type of polyamory called solo polyamory, or sometimes
hey, who gave me a follow?
And these two styles are
inherently
less about hierarchy and more about autonomy for myself.
Oh, the slippery lemur, thank you for the follow. I very, very much appreciate it, man.
About the things that I choose to take part in. And even if I'm in a relationship that's not so great, or a relationship that isn't fulfilling to
right
me,
now
I
is
can
more
still
opinion
be
shit,
looking
so I
for
can't
other
really critique it.
relationships, or maybe I have another existing relationship
The next one's gonna
that
be
is more
spicy.
fulfilling, or that actually like does support me in a way that my other relationships don't. My name is Randall and I'm polyamorous. For me, the process of coming out as polyamorous was really me deciding that getting out of monogamous relationships because I had feelings for somebody else was just not working for me. I noticed that other people were practicing other styles of relationships where they were being truthful to their partners. And
I'll be real. If I ever get big on anything, if streaming or something else, and I become a big popular moment, a big popular like person, bro, I would not be able to keep a girlfriend, cause damn, I wouldn't be able to do that. The fuck, bruh, BTV
the fact
moment.
That they had feelings for other people and doing it ethically.
I don't know what BTTV is.
Currently, I'm dissatisfied with
I don't
my
understand.
relationship status because I did just come out of a really bad breakup, so I am single at this point, and I can be self-sufficient enough to enjoy my own company, but it's just in certain moments in life, like for example, I was taking a long road trip and I just like imagined my ex, like, you know, me caressing her leg, like while we're on the road trip, and you kind of wish that you just like had a person just to share those moments with.
So I practice parallel polyamory, which means that my husband and I see other people and we don't necessarily need to meet or get along with the other people that we're seeing. And I love my husband. I've been with him for 18 years coming up. And I have some friends with benefits,
this old guy looked disgusted.
But I am looking for someone else to be like in a relationship with that fulfills some needs that I'm not getting from my current partner. What I've been looking for, I'm starting to probably determine that I'm not going to find one person who is going to fill the rest of these boxes, and I may have to separate that up into multiple other people, whether it's relationship-wise or otherwise. I'm Bunny, and I am polyamorous. The way that I deal with jealousy is I like to break it down and ask myself why. Why am I feeling jealous of my husband? Is it because he's spending time with someone else and I need more time with him or my other partners? Or is it something else? And once I break it down, I can then address those issues, such as requesting more time with that partner if I am feeling jealous that I am not getting enough time with them. Or I can take it upon myself to fill said time with someone else or with another activity to be able to not focus on the jealousy that I'm feeling.
Patriarchy is the root.
Oh, this one would get spicy. I've been waiting for this one. Now this one, I have never really thought about this question. Patriarchy is the root of monogamy. I'm gonna say yes, because I'm leaning toward yes, but I don't know the question to this one. The answer to this one right now. Fuck, I gotta think about this a lot more. This is an interesting question. I'm leaning toward yes, because probably a lot of kings secretly will go out and like fuck a lot of other people, but they don't want their wife to go out and fuck a lot of people as well. So I think that's where it lies in. You know, the patriarchy of a guy can go out, fuck a lot of people, yet, you know, they're not considered like a hoe, but if a woman does that, it is. So that's why they act like they're monogamous. I'm gonna lean toward yes, but that's like a right off the top of that question.
Of monogamy.
Ooh, she's the only one going up. Oh, there's another one. How many more?
A little bit of like research, I guess, that I've been doing and realizing that it was absolutely contractual. It was absolutely for gain, advantageous reasons. It was never love.
Way back when, it was like you said, it was contractual. Like, women in general were an object to be purchased. While that has changed, that is still rooted in the system of monogamy and people thinking they need to be with someone forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's how people stay in abusive relationships.
Oh, let's start this shit.
I feel like
I could, since I just like thought about the answer right now, I could be moved on this. So let's hear their arguments.
there is a lot of pieces of monogamy that are rooted in that patriarchal sort of feel. However, there are a lot of people who feel like monogamy is just the best option for them and are connected to their person regardless of that. If we're
that is
thinking
true.
About queer relationships as well, and people who are married to a partner of the same gender or outside of the norm, I don't feel like they are feeling that patriarchy.
I don't know if I would say that it's like the reason that everyone is monogamous. It does play a role in just the way that we just construct our realities.
But that is true. I like how a lot of people are monogamous because society tells you to be monogamous, and to be polyamory is to be like degenerate and being like a slut. So maybe that's a reason why, and that could be rooted in patriarchy as well. I don't know, man.
We see monogamy across so many species, and that has me wondering. Obviously, in human society, it was a
not that many species. There's way more polyamory in animal species. If we're doing the nature thing, which I don't like, the appeal to nature argument. I don't like that. But if you're looking at nature, there's way more polyamory than there is monogamy. And there's it even in apes, and like gray apes, like humans are considered to be part of. Only a small handful are just full on monogamous, you know. So I don't know. I don't like the appeal to nature argument.
big component, but there's something so much larger than that in monogamy that reaffirms my belief that it's not really about the patriarchy. It's about this inherent need within us, and some of us lean towards monogamy and some of us lean towards polyamory, and that's just the way it is.
Obviously, I'm a little bit older than everybody here. I grew up and really didn't know much different. The churches were pretty much, this is right, this is wrong. You know, when somebody said polygamy, I was like, oh, they must live in Utah. That's about the only place you knew that where that could possibly exist. And there was no discussion of why somebody has that relationship. We didn't talk about any of that.
We should make a distinction that it's not also polygamy. We are polyamorous.
Okay.
So polyamorous and polygamy are two just different things.
And see, a lot of it is
Right, just information and
yeah.
not
I
knowing.
grew up not knowing.
Right.
Yeah, and you can also root it in the like he said, like in church and religion and stuff like that. And religion have been known to be very like patriarchal and shit like that. So you can make that argument as well. I can definitely see someone making like a decent argument about that.
It's unrealistic to commit to being with someone forever.
Ooh. Disagree. I disagree with this one. I know a lot of people that once they get married, or a lot of older people that get married with another person and they stay with them forever. However, that comes with like the boomer fucking memes of them hating their wives and I can't wait to like kill my wife and shit like that in a video game. So maybe that leads down, and you have to be committed to the one person once you being married to them is like being a bad thing, because boomers like end up like hating their wives and stuff like that. So I don't know. I say I wouldn't go up there.
So I feel like we spend a lot of our lives dating and trying to figure out who we'd like to be with, and we don't always get it right. So I feel like thinking about it that way, it's unrealistic to think about the fact that the one person that you end up choosing will be your forever person. It could change in the future. The divorce rate is very high in this country, so I think that's an easy way to think about it.
I also think it fits into that fairy tale concept that, you know, this is the one. And living on a planet that has harbours like 7 billion people, I feel like that's highly like unrealistic that you're
POV boomers discover divorce. True.
gonna be in love with just this one person your entire life. My name is Mel, and I am monogamous. I've just had this self-discovery that there's so many things about myself that I just need to work on, and it's rooted in me just not wanting to go out of my comfort zone, and polyamory is definitely something that is out of my comfort zone. If I was to try it, maybe I would actually like it.
Don't knock it till you try it, I guess. I would never try it.
Really
I'm too much of a selfish person to try it.
I mean, I feel like I can only speak for myself. You know, a lot of people do stay together for, say, you know, kids or something like that, or perhaps finances. It's, you know, a privilege to be able to maybe get divorced or live on one income. So I wouldn't say that it's a, you know, catch-all black and white issue.
I definitely feel that you can be with someone forever, but you're going to change as individuals as you grow. And it all depends on how those changes and work with each other. So if you are able to change and accept the changes of your partner, then you can be together forever. But a lot of people change, not necessarily in a bad way, but in an incompatible way.
Yeah. I would also like to add, I did believe that I would have a forever person, but recent experiences of a breakup that just happened, that's what changed my perspective. And I looked at it more logically. I should be more open to the fact that I will meet other people down the line, and I shouldn't assume that this person is going to be with me my entire life.
I mean, I'm polyamorous, but I've been married to my first boyfriend since we were like teenagers. I think that's my forever person. And I believe that for me, and with the waves and with the changes, you know, yeah, you make that recommitment over and over again. And I think that there can be that forever person for anyone, but I also understand experience plays a role in that tremendously, and I haven't had that experience of loss.
My opinions of this have shifted after being in a really toxic, bad relationship where I really wanted it to be my forever, but deep down I always knew it probably wasn't gonna be feasible. And then after that relationship, I didn't want to be in a relationship at all. And this amazing person came into my life, and I knew, and I tried to push him away, but it became evident that that was just my person. My name is Luca, and I'm monogamous. After being in a polyamorous relationship, I really knew
Is Luca all
was
grown
the route I
up
wanted
from
to
fucking
take.
Pixar?
There was
and
some
Italy.
jealousy going on in the relationship as to how I loved each person, and that I couldn't divide it 50-50, and I didn't want to. I want to be able to give 100% of myself to one person.
Hey, I like you, Jubilee, but we're not watching your fucking sponsor. All right, let's get.
Environment
Grew up sets a good example for my future
that I grew up
relationships.
in set a good example for my future relationship.
that is, I don't know about this one. It feels like, so the home environment that I grew up in set a good example for my future relationships. I feel like this is more like an opinionated thing than like an actual, like, you made a hard argument, like, oh, you're wrong or you're right and shit like that.
I think for myself, I grew up seeing a lot of broken homes and people who had divorced parents, and I felt super fortunate that that wasn't my home life, and I'm sure it shaped me in ways that I'm not even able to comprehend. They were a really good example of the way that I want to treat another human.
My mother, I just remember her like doing it all. She was just like the pillar of strength, and I think just saying that, I always thought like, okay, I can do it no matter what, and if I have a husband that can complement that, then that's awesome. My name is Emerald, and I'm monogamous. My husband and I have been together for 17 years, and I think that
damn, they're getting their intros at the end of the video. It feels like a JoJo.
The issue that I have with him,
they're about to die right after.
It head on, and we're able to fix that within our relationship, as opposed to introducing other people. And so I think that over the years, our foundation has been strengthened simply because we're able to communicate to one another.
I grew up, my parents were married, they've been married from my birth to now. Eventually my mom stayed home and my dad kept working, but he still was trying to be active in my brother and mine's life. But as I developed mental health issues and became a difficult child, he did not cope well with that, and he kind of like pieced out for a bit. So I don't think that set a very great example, because in my greatest time of need, I would have appreciated if he stuck by my mom and stuck by me. So even if it is difficult for me to interact with my child, that's not what I want for my future.
My experience growing.
It has nothing to do with this, but I hear a lot of like arguments about the home environment I grew up in. Set a good example about like against gay people. Like a lot of conservatives keep like bringing up, gay people are only gay because they got sexually assaulted like when they were younger. And if you actually look at the data, it's just not true. It's not true at all. So it just reminds me of that.
Yours, my father was away a lot, so it was just me, my older sister, and my mom. And the way that my parents communicate, it's like their relationship they can do pretty much over the phone. It's that lack of communication and also having an emotionally unavailable mother, it definitely shaped a lot of codependency issues on my end.
My father was an alcoholic up and through my teenage years, and when he recovered, my mother became a really bad alcoholic. I guess a good precedent for monogamy, you stay together with the same person till death. They were together until she died, but it was not good for either of them. I don't think that they loved each other at the point in time that I saw them. All it kind of like says to me in that is like, don't stay with someone because you're supposed to, because you signed a piece of paper, or because you have children together. You need to take care of yourself first, because you can't be a good parent to your child. You can't be a good partner if you aren't taking care of yourself.
I grew up in a pretty religious household. There were certain ways that you needed to behave, certain ways that you needed to act and be, and I played that role really, really well. And I was applauded for it, and I was given opportunities because of it. And to kind of step out of that was really hard, and mainly because my family was just surrounded by a lot of secrecy. We don't talk about things, we shift them under the rug, and we just bury our emotions as much as we can so that we don't really have to deal with it. And that is not at all how I'm choosing to lead my life. My name is Katie, and I'm polyamorous. I struggled with my faith and also being a polyamorous person.
Damn, another introduction.
Completely frowned upon in our community. I was a worship pastor.
And you got like 3 minutes left.
In a very conservative church. When I started to just be a little bit more truthful with who I was, I had to really re-wrap my mind around what I truly conceived God to be, and what that love towards me
Watch out for Dio.
I realized there was just no way that I could
around the
keep
corner.
hiding this really important part of myself.
A polyamorous relationship is appropriate for raising.
Oh, spicy one here. I'm gonna say yes. I would say it does not matter whether you're polyamorous or monogamous. It just depends on if you like you're a good like parent.
A family.
So I have a 6-year-old, and me and my 2 partners, we raise him, and Baltimore City, schools knows about it. My son has an IEP, so that means he has some learning disabilities, and there's 3 people to support, to be there for him. So I don't know. I think for me,
Yeah,
just,
you can argue
me
that
the
as
freedom
well.
To,
you could get
you
more
know, kind
people
of
to
go
support.
After goals,
yeah,
go after dreams, and have the support system still at home. And I know my son is lacking nothing.
I wonder what they're gonna say. Are they gonna say like, "Oh, you're gonna turn your house into like a whorehouse," and imagine what your kid feels like that you have a different man coming in and coming all over you every night?
I mean, it's tricky because, you know, you have other little kids are like, oh, why does Lucas have 2 moms and a dad, you know? And it's just kind of easy to just be like, you know, families just look different sometimes. Just being more open about it, even that in itself is gonna give kind of just more space for these family structures to be just respected. Because I know that in my community, I think we're the only ones really kind of openly being this way about who we are. And we haven't seen any sort of backlash or anything like that, so.
You know, like logically, practically, it does make sense to have that support. And we're also talking about kids when we say family. I think it expands much further than that. And so you see people who already have multiple parents with stepdads, stepmoms. And so I see no reason that this is not an addition to that, you know? So I just want to put that forth too.
All right, let's hear the counter arguments that I disagree with.
You know, the one thing I heard is
Let's see.
the three of you, whatever you got to do, you're going to do so he can be successful and loved and cared for and feel safe and be safe. My name is Mike and I am monogamous. What I love about my wife so much and makes our marriage special is
We have a minute left.
We have found ways that
we have a minute left.
Support
It's
each
too late
other
for your introduction. I'm
what
sorry.
We like to do professionally and spiritually.
Get on
and
with the
help out.
arguments.
And I think that's a lot of what I took away today. I saw that with the other side.
So as for like my household, we have 5 children. Our parents live 2.5 hours away, so it's mainly us doing the brunt of the school pickups, drop off, all that kind of stuff. While I do see that it would be very beneficial to have someone else, I think that's why nannies are available, babysitters, that kind of thing. Trying to add someone else to our lifestyle.
But you gotta, okay, the difference is, when it comes to, this is what I'm assuming, I never had this happen, this is what I'm assuming, when it comes to nannies and other stuff like that, maids, you gotta pay them. And a lot of people are poor, all right? A lot of people don't have the money for that. When you are in a polyamorous relationship, depends how good of a relationship you are with that third person. That third person just come in, either A, do it for very cheap, or B, just do it for free because they like you, and maybe they even like the kid and like to hang around with the kid. You know what I'm talking about?
Be so anxious. It would just be like, oh my gosh, there's another person in the house that needs something, that has to do something, and then somebody else have to deal with, and then they possibly want sex tonight. I would be like, I'm over it. So
I mean,
that's
that's
how I feel. That's how I feel.
like Google calendars exist. Like I get what you're saying, and that there is like a lot of that in the polyamorous community where you're interested in someone and they're like, hey, look, I really like you, but I just don't have the bandwidth right now to add another partner. But at the same note, if you or your husband got another partner, they could watch the kids while the two of you go out on a date night. Like that would add time for you and your husband to be able to go off while like.
Could it be me? Could not have been me. Or you want me to watch your stanky ass kids for you and your hubby to go out and have a good time? Nope. I ain't doing that shit. Never in a million years.
You know, be integrated into the family.
All right, we can cut.
All right, that was a pretty good one. I like this one a bit more than the woman one, because the woman one, they weren't arguing at all. They didn't have different views or different values at all, which I thought a little mischievous for making me waste my time on that one. But this one I liked a bit more. They definitely did have disagreements, and it wasn't really that spicy, which is nice as well to have. And a lot of them gave out decent arguments. And a lot of them on both sides gave out decent arguments as well on different stuff. But yeah, I like this one. I fuck with this one.